Asaf, thank you for being here with me today. It's really a pleasure to host you. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm great. Thank you for having me, Dana.
Wonderful, wonderful. Asaf, you're the co-founder and the chief operating officer of Addressable. I'm really interested to learn more. What is Addressable? What do you guys do?
So what we do at Addressable is we help companies acquire users. And the biggest challenge with acquiring users in Web3 or crypto is that everybody are anonymous. So it's very difficult for companies like wallets, exchanges, Web3 games to know who are their audiences, learn more about them, and reach out to them. And the way we solve that at Addressable is we build a huge database that connects wallet owners from the blockchain with who they are behind that, with social handles and other behavioral profiles. So for the first time, companies can learn more about their target audiences and target them, in our case, using advertisements on Twitter, Reddit, and on top crypto websites like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, CoinDesk, and more of that.
I see. Basically, so your ideal customer is any company out there who is potentially interested in acquiring more users. Or could you give us a better understanding of who your clients are?
Absolutely. So we're on a mission to help the space grow. And the usual partners we work with are companies that are B2C and are looking to drive wallet owners from the blockchain. It can be exchanges that are looking for traders to come and trade on their platform. It can be blockchains that are looking for both retail traders and developers and users to be using their blockchains. It could be Web3 games or gambling companies that are looking for gamers that understand blockchain and crypto to come and use them. But all of them are struggling to understand who's in crypto, who would understand how to connect the wallet, who would understand how to make crypto investments. In our tech help these companies identify these users and reach out to them. So these are the typical partners that we're working with.
I see. I've seen a couple of your demos with your team, and I really understand that you're able to merge that Web 2 and Web 3 kind of information, and this is correct, and correct me if I'm wrong. So you're connecting basically the social platforms and our social kind of presence with the Web 3 domain, with wallets, and creating a wholesome idea of who this person is. And this is exactly what is allowing you to better understand and track the user along the Web 2 and Web 3 domains. Is that correct?
It's absolutely that. It's absolutely that. If you ask almost any marketer within the space that is responsible for growing a DeFi protocol or an exchange or a wallet, you ask them, who's your target audience? The interesting fact is that more than 80% of them describe the audience based on on-chain terms. It's people with tokens or money on the blockchain. It's people that work on chain with my competitors. It's developers that deployed smart contract code into the blockchain. It's people that have liquidity on optimism. It's these descriptions are captured on the blockchain with open data. But then if you're asking the follow-up question, how do you, great, you know who the users are. How do you get to them? This is where the frustration typically comes because you're seeing them on the blockchain, but you don't know how to reach out to them, right? And if you're using any existing platform like Google Ads or Twitter advertisements, what these platforms are literally asking you is, let me know what's the geolocation of the users or what's their general interest. How does that even relate to how you're thinking about the audience? This is the experience that we're trying to bridge. Let us know who they are on chain. We'll translate that to real world knowledge, help you target these users and help you measure everything end to end.
You actually created that bridge between those two, Web 2 and Web 3. And I don't think I've seen any tools before. When I used to run ads, usually it's only, as you mentioned, on-chain kind of on-chain analytics. Either you run some ads on Web 3 websites, some DEXs, some dApps, so nothing that connects you back to the to mostly where everybody is, the Web 2 platforms. So it's very interesting what you guys do. Also, when I actually spoke to you for the first time, this also raised the question of how do you see privacy actually evolving as we're merging Web 2, Web 3, and AI, even that, right? Because when this movement of Web 3 started and driven by decentralization and privacy, many would envision the future becoming much more private and our information becoming much more private. But now all this is being merged together. So I'm just curious to know, how do you see it? What do you envision privacy to become in the future? And what role is actually Addressable playing in all of this?
I think privacy is incredibly important. I wouldn't be wanting for people to use my data for reasons that are far beyond what I would expect them to use. Privacy is definitely something that's in the top of our mind. I think at the same time, there's some tension between privacy and the ability of companies to scale, right? I mean, in a very dystopian reality, companies can say, I'm not using any data that's out there. I'm trying to grow without any data. But what will happen is that a lot of these companies will struggle to grow effectively, right? Because you need data to be able to direct your efforts. At Addressable, what we're trying to do is we're trying to collect data that will help companies in the space grow, will help lead them to the right places, to the right users, to the right countries, to the things that demonstrate the best performance and gain visibility for that without jeopardizing learning who exactly is behind this wallet. That data is both not really interesting and it's not really changing the picture. And you've seen the platforms, but for other people that haven't seen it, if you go on the platform, you build an audience for targeting, you get an understanding of where they're coming from globally. So you'll know which geos to target. You know where they're converting, whether that's mainly Google or mainly Twitter. You know who they're following on social media. But there's not a single point on the platform that is telling you who's behind Wag Wallet. It's not ethical. It's not useful. It's not what we're about. It's really, really about finding this kind of point of tension between privacy, which is incredibly important, to having data useful for this industry to grow and become more mature and successful.
Yeah, but I agree with you there. I mean, just like from a marketeer's perspective, just the more information and more data points I can collect, the more efficient my campaigns would be, and I'll be just targeting the right people. I will not be spending from one side my ad spend on something I should not be, and I should not be polluting someone else's feed with information they don't need. I think really the merge, of all of these technologies together would just make marketing much more efficient and make the user experience for the end user much more comfortable, joyful, and straight to the point, right? So you're able to get the results you want much more efficiently by the algos be just understanding what you'd like to see. So a really incredible, a very interesting shift which is happening right now. I think with the help of technologies as Addressable, this is becoming much more efficient and effective nowadays. I just want to better understand, how does your tech, this wallet to social matching, there is a powerful AI algo underneath your technology, right? And when your team was explaining it to me of how powerful this engine is, it's very interesting to listen to that. Could you tell me what is the technology really that is helping you to connect all this information together? How powerful is this AI engine to be able to collect and analyze all this data and connect those data points to create this understanding of those specific personas?
Yeah, so I would separate this into two. The endless effort of trying to put together wallets on the blockchain with who they are or where to find them, it's not a single AI to solve it. For anybody kind of hearing about that, thinking that we can just take a chat GPT and throw it on top of the blockchain, we'll know how to solve it. It's very far from being that. Our team's background is with running intelligence in both academia, biggest big data company, and also for the government. This is what we did for 10 to 15 years. So it's not one piece of AI that we throw on top of the data and it solves for things, but it's actually a wide variety of algorithms and heuristics that are being done to match the picture together. And behind that, the sole thing is you need to find a single evidence of who's behind what. That's what's behind it. But having said that, AI is widely used in our system to help make marketing more sophisticated. So a few examples of that is, let's say you're a DEX and you're looking to target DEX users. So you would be deciding to target anybody who traded on Uniswap. Our system will be able to provide you with recommendations. You might also want to target people that are using PancakeSwap or people that are using SushiSwap. So this is one use of AI. Another use of AI is, as you're running a campaign for targeting users, a lot of what we're learning is sometimes the users you had in mind are not all reacting in the same way to your campaign. Some of them are reacting better to it. The cost per wallet is lower. The cost per engagement is lower. Some of them are reacting worse to it. But what our AI algorithm does, and it's not a lot of magic actually, is collecting this data, understand what's working well, and doubling down on that. So you get the best bang for your buck. You're putting a media budget on top of that. You want to make sure that it's optimized. So we're seeing the good results. We're the AI is buying more, which is pretty straightforward, but it's easily to assign this task to a machine rather than to a human. In some other places in which AI is being used is think about the role of a marketer in a Web3 company. You know it very, very well, probably some of the listeners as well. It's that two people in the company responsible for all of the communication to the outside world, right? They're doing the community, they're doing the social media management, they're doing the PR, they're doing some of the listings as well, they're doing the advertisement, they're doing literally all of that. And at any point in time, the founders are asking, tell me what's going on. And it's incredibly difficult. It feels like you're juggling five balls in the air, right? So some of our use in AI is looking at the entire data of your campaigns, of all of your marketing efforts. With a single click, give me like the top 5 bullet points of what's working. So for instance, the campaign we're running in Ukraine is doing the best with cost per wallet at under $3. The campaign we're running at Hong Kong is doing the least. Perhaps this is what we want to cut out with $10 cost per wallet of that. We're seeing better results with the new creative that we uploaded into the system, showing you the image. So the AI is helping you summarize. So we all know the feeling of the marketer being grabbed by the founder and asking, like, tell me what's going on. Single click so you get the summary. So marketers can become the champions of their organization.
Indeed, I can relate to that, Asaf. Yeah. As you know, the CMO, I always struggle with collecting the data, right? So be able to be cool, to be able to define the right strategy to move forward. So when a platform is actually capable to help me really analyze and bring some takeaways basically in the shortest time period possible, this is definitely remarkable and just makes our work much more efficient and much more fast and effective. So yeah, I was just thinking about tools as addressable. It's just becoming impossible basically not to use AI anymore, right? You cannot compete. A company that uses a tool like Addressable for targeting, and assuming a company that doesn't, I feel like in a short period of time, those companies are just unable to compete anymore. It's just one overweights the other by a great amount. So this is a conversation I've been having with a lot of different founders and people and entrepreneurs, that you should be adapting to AI tools and engraving AI tools in all of your processes in your companies. If you don't, you might become obsolete in the next, 6 to 12 months. What do you think about that? And how are you actually, apart that you actually already have AI as the core kind of power tool in your company, how are you adapting to AI tools just in other parts of your business to making sure you're not obsolete and you're up to date and constantly evolving?
It's a great question to tap into what you were saying earlier about whoever won't be using AI or won't be using tools like Addressable will fall behind. It all starts with measuring your effectiveness, right? If you have true metrics to measure how effective you are, how many leads you're getting, how big is the monitor you're getting, how much conversions you're getting, how much TVL, what's the CAC. Unless you're using that, you won't realize you're falling behind. I think that's the hot take from this. That's the problem with this space. It's not necessarily people are not using the most advanced tools, but they're not using the right metrics to understand if they're winning or not, right? There's a lot of effort that we're putting on metrics like cost per wallet and about surfacing metrics. So even if you're not advertising, at least understand if you're doing well or how much better you can do, right? And in addressing the question of how we're using AI across Addressable, we're using that all over, ranging from the engineering team, which is using Cursor all over. All of the code is currently being written using agentic platforms completely. The marketing team are using AI mainly for content creation very, very widely. I think this is pretty much well adopted in Web3. It's really, really good to see it as kind of a still a pioneering industry. On the BD side of things, I think we're amongst the first team to start using AI agents for reach outs. That's perhaps an opportunity for some other topic to speak more about that. But as a company that's scaling, we always need to be, I guess, more sophisticated with how we're doing reach outs at scale and how we're doing that more personalized. We definitely started using more of that. In the product, I think in the product, what we're trying to do is we're trying to take things that are working for us and that we're seeing with new trends for AI and making them accessible for marketers that are running advertisers or that are trying to measure how successful are their marketing efforts.
Yeah, I think this is exactly what an evolving modern company should be doing right now, making sure AI is just is present in all all departments, all focus areas, because this is why I started this podcast, because I realized that people are not aware how to integrate AI into different areas of their business. And this is why we're falling behind, because people understand that we should be using AI in all possible areas, but because of the incredible amount of tools also, right? And incredible amount of development happening, people are just, they're unable to keep track of what's really working, what's out there. So it's always great to know that some companies are actually taking the route already. It's good to hear. People can take a lot of insight from what you just said of how it can be integrated in different areas. And just wanted to take back a step back and talk about yourself. You already been doing a Addressable for the past 3 years. You founded it in 2022, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
You and your co-founders have created a great company. So maybe you can give some alpha of in terms of what are the things that help you along the way to grow Addressable to become this powerful company and still growing and still evolving. Some things that founders nowadays in the Web3 space are having difficulty with. What are some insights or some takeaways you could actually tell to founders in order who are growing their businesses right now and just need some guidance?
That's a great question. And I'm actually using mainly my Twitter to write all kind of notes whenever I'm having them about being an entrepreneur with everything that I'm learning. And every day is a new journey. I think what it boils down ultimately is if you're very passionate about crypto and you chose crypto to be your market, that's a constant. That's not going to change. But what you make it change about is the team you're running with. I think after the market selection, team is probably the most important thing. And we have a team that's amazing and that I'm very, very proud of. Starting with my two co-founders and looking at the entire scaling team. I think that's definitely the recipe for success. And the other thing is this is something that is working for us, but I'm really trying to preach that to the industry is use data. Try to think about what are your North Star metric? What would success look like for you? And let that lead you. I see a lot of founders in the space that are leaving data for kind of a later stage. Let's first try to do discovery, try to find product market fit, rely a lot on our emotion. And later on, when we're scaling, let's start using the data. But I think that it's a lot of time too late. I mean, all of us are very emotional about our businesses, right? It's a company that you started. You feel very, very emotional about that. But unless you're looking at the data and analyzing it, it becomes very, very easy to kind of be detached from reality, right? Or even week by week, not realize if you're making the tiny steps that you need towards where you want to be. And I think that's definitely one thing that a lot of founders in Web3 need to look at differently. If I can give like this single advice to Web3 founders, aside from build a great team, believe in what you're doing, and everything that everybody else are saying, my unique statement would be think about what is success to you, how you measure that in a very, very small dashboard, like 3 widgets on a dashboard that you can look at weekly, and look at that weekly. Make sure that you're on track to hitting what you truly care about. And if people are telling you that it's difficult to get the data and we're not sure how to measure that, great, it might be valid. Don't give up on that. Make sure that you have the dashboard. Make sure that you're on track. Celebrate small wins. Grow the line until you're getting to what success is for you.
Yeah, that is definitely a great point, Asaf. I would agree with this like 1,000%. Unfortunately, I'm seeing also a lot of founders, they keep on creating technology, they don't test it, they put it out in the market, they don't look at the data. That this data-driven approach is not the norm. Coming from a Web2 background, moving to Web3, that was more popular, right? Everything was very data-focused, and I would greatly agree that this is the right approach that should be taken. And this is what I try to implement with all of my clients. Just look at the data, let's analyze more, and then we take more decisions upon those analysis. I'm just trying to also think about a couple of things I heard from founders when I was a token right now in Dubai, and I felt that there's a huge concern about everybody needs more users, right? Everybody is in incredible need of more users. There's a limited amount of people in the Web3 space. The onboarding in the Web3 is very difficult, and people are just fighting for the same users. And I just wanted to ask you, what do you think are the best user acquisition kind of strategies right now? What is working? What is not working? And how can we actually get more users from the Web2 finally into Web3? How can we make this onboarding process much more efficient and better to grow this industry?
So I think it all starts with what's the the growth metrics and what are you optimizing for? The way that I currently view the metrics for success is if you're maximizing for attention, you still don't have a product. It's mainly about getting people with the hype. Optimize for Mitre. You can find that on Kaito. I think they're doing amazing work on that. If you're optimizing for engagement, I want to get people on my website. I want to get them logging in. I want to get them to check out. I want them to move from crypto Twitter to my website to something that's closer to a buy. I would look at cost per wallet, which is coined by us, and you can find that it's not a commercial term. It's really a global metric everybody can use to measure your marketing effort. If you're looking at deep down attribution for conversions, you're already a company that has a lot of on-chain conversions. You can look at cost per value, CPV. Coinbase, I think they're doing some amazing work as well. Start with the metrics. Once you have a metric set and you get it, just try different things. See what's optimizing the metric. I think that the more people will be doing that, the less they try to copy what others are doing. Oh, everybody's doing KOLs, everybody's doing community. So we probably need to do that as well. But if we never measure that, how will you even know that you're hitting your goals, right? If you want to get users, test yourself on what's driving you users, right? What we're seeing is that our platform provides running ads, and we're always trying to share publicly whatever we can about what are the results from ads. We have a recent report breaking down cost per wallet from 2024 across more than 100 advertisers in the space, both exchanges, wallets, games, in a wide variety of them. What we're seeing, we're publishing the results so people can understand what's achievable. Oh, if I go to Southeast Asia and I'm looking for traders and I'm in a bear market, okay, that would mean the number would be like a $12 cost per wallet. Oh, but if, for instance, I'm going to Eastern Europe during the bull market, and I'm promoting something for developers, I might get that for $5. Let's make the conversation smarter. So we're definitely seeing ads working on that. I do believe influencers are working on that, but test that. Test that. I think that is the most important thing. Go using the data, because the only way to do that with marketing is trial and error. Allocate a small budget to a wide variety of channels, see what's driving the metrics, double them.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. I should check those reports more. I did not see them before. I think they give a lot of analytics, basically, of what to expect, results, and even different costs. This is what I struggle most with, because there's no expectations, right? Many platform providers, when you speak with them, they just don't know. They tell you just spend the money and you'll get some results. So it becomes very difficult to take a decision. I think what you guys are doing here is very beneficial for the whole industry and for decision making. So thanks for that, basically. On the last note, I just wanted to get an insight from you. What will be the future of marketing and AI merged together? Will it become completely automated? Will there still a bit of human touch? I think your platform right now, it helps you set the campaign, but it's not fully automated. There's a human touch to it where you can perfect all the metrics right now. What direction do you think we're moving into? And what is the future of AI and marketing merged together in Web3?
It's a great question, and I'll try to speak about separately from AI and marketing in general. What do I think crypto would look like at the age of AI? So AI and marketing in general, I think AI will affect marketing the same way that it affects engineering, in the same way that it's affecting sales. It's really about taking marketers from the tactical set and the operational set about their doing the task themselves to something that's a bit more strategic. So it would feel for a lot of marketers that rather than them doing the hands-on work, they're operating junior marketers. Like, you create this content and I give you some review and you provide it to me, and I ask you to get me some results from my market research and you get me that, and I'm asking you for some fixes. I think this is what it would feel like in marketing. The same way, this is how I'm thinking about what it will do to engineering and sales. It gives every engineer the feeling that they're now managing a small team of juniors that can perform really well, but still need the guidance, right? This is what I think it will feel like for marketers. But the creativity and the ability to orchestrate, and the ability to review and sign for something that is being done correctly, I think that would remain with humans for the very, very long while. It will take a while until AI is better with creativity. If I go to crypto, I think on crypto marketing, Some of the biggest challenges, one is reach. How do you find the users who are reaching out to them? That's what we're trying to solve in Addressable. And the other one is the user experience. Even if you find the people, how do you make it easy for them to go through all the stages? I think AI is going to be very, very dramatic on that. Because if you're thinking about what onboarding to crypto looks like today, is you need to download a wallet, you need to connect the wallet. It's not the most comfortable feeling, right? And you need to also be an expert on the industry to know whether you can trust something or not. I think that in a 3 to 5 year time frame from now, AI will become the user experience for a lot of consumer apps, not just in crypto. I think for a lot of people today, they're going on Amazon to buy something. 3 years, they'll be asking AI, like, I need a new TV that's big and kind of a bit better than, and AI will say, "Is this what you want me to buy for you?" And you say yes. Or our children are coming over with a friend that has some food allergy. What you want me to order for them? I want pizza, and the AI will already find that, right? I think crypto will head in the same direction. I think that it will go in the back as an infrastructure, and with most people, some of their money will lie on blockchains, and they will ask it typical financial questions like, find me a good opportunity for yield if I want to buy a house in 5 years from now. Or they will ask it for, I want to get married in 1 year and I need to save money for that. What's the best opportunity for that? The AI will make some proposals. And as soon as you're saying option number 2 sounds great, they would go ahead in the background and they will operate the crypto side of things. So I think that's going to be revolutionary. And in the meantime, crypto marketers have a lot of opportunities of getting crypto adoption, building the trust and building everything behind that and getting users to embrace so we can build the infrastructure correctly.
Yeah. This is a great point. Just the other day I was looking at our product and I was looking, oh my God, I wish there's just an AI agent who would come and basically and serve me, right? I'm opening this mobile app. I just want to do a crypto transaction. Unfortunately, we've been built an industry which is so complex for most of the people. It's 16 years past Bitcoin, 8% adoption rate of crypto. We've gone wrong somewhere. And I'm just looking at AI agent as actually becoming just, our savior at this point where they just hide their technology, which is on the back end, and they become their UX, basically their interface, which people can just collaborate with and talk with. And this is how they can actually get on board into Web3 space. So great to hear that you actually think similarly. So hopefully this is how our technology and our industry develops. On the last note, maybe some final thoughts about addressable benefit that users can actually attain by working with your company and type of results that they can get. And specific problems that can be solved right now that any other founder out there who's trying to basically spend this budget, don't have right data, or you don't have a clear ROI, you're not getting the right results. So a founder who's sitting there and facing all the issues, what can you tell them about Addressable and how it can actually save those issues for them?
I think that if as a founder in crypto, one of your top 3 problems is you need users because you want to raise money. You're launching a token, you want to get it adopted. You're going towards a listing in an exchange. You want to have more people trying your product so you can learn and build from that. And you're struggling with doing that. And at the same time, the opportunities you're looking for how to do that, you feel they're very blank on the data. You don't really understand what they're contributing. You're already doing PR, you're doing KOLs, or maybe you haven't done anything, but you're really kind of a data-driven person. You want to make sure that everything that you put your media budget on, you understand what the return on investment for that and that you can optimize for that, then come and chat to us. We have proven case studies. We're always publishing results. And we always love speaking to marketers and hearing about their challenges and growth and how they're measuring and how they're growing. And yeah, we're working with some of the top logos within the industry. We're growing and perfecting our product for targeting wallet owners and measuring all of that. So yeah, come and chat to me. You see my handle, Asaf Nadler, on the screen. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Telegram. You can find me on LinkedIn. Always happy to chat.
Yeah, I think that also the best thing we can advise founders is just to go on your website, ask for a demo, and really dive deep into the tool. Really, when you see how you can break down all this data, how much more efficient you can make the campaigns, you can better understand basically what you're spending your money on. So really, reach out to Asaf, go to their website, request a demo, and have a look at what this incredible team has been able to build. Asaf, I thank you for your time. It was really lovely chatting with you today. A lot of incredible alpha about your product, about the industry, about what's coming in the future. So I really appreciate you taking the time today, and thank you so much for this lovely chat.
Thank you so much, Dana.